And you're listening to a Token Nerd Network podcast. 3, 2, 1. Where we ramble on about geeky things. Things ranging from Batman to pop figures to Star Wars.
From Token Nerd Podcast.
Stay spicy, my friends.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Token Nerd Podcast, where we ramble on about geeky things, ranging from Batman to pop figures to Star Wars. I'm your host, Anthony Pettiford.
And I'm Silk.
And we're back with the 54th episode of the Token Nerd Podcast, which we are going to title Taming the Tiger Within. Why, you ask? Because there's a self-help book right next to me, and I was struggling for a name, and I thought, you know what, that's absolutely perfect. And we'll actually do a little shout out to the Taming the Tiger Within book, Meditation on Transforming Difficult Emotions by that might actually be a
Good luck
saying.
with
Thak Nhat Hanh, from No Death, No Fear, Anger, and Growing Home. Going Home, not Growing Home. That is okay. So yeah, he is the author. It's THICHNHATHANH. All right. Well, with that little sponsor out there.
That was horrible.
I know, I'm not proud of it. But we have a ton of things to go through this week. We were off last week. I said we were going to try to do it weekly. I ended up hurting myself in kickball. So it kind of made it a little difficult to keep that promise of a consecutive airing process, but we're back, and we're just going to jump straight into some of the movie news that came up over the last 2 weeks. One of which is, I didn't realize it came out. I just happened to see it randomly on Facebook, and that was that Thor Ragnarok got a new international trailer. I think I sent it to you beforehand, so you got a chance to see it. But in this, it's the international trailer of Thor. The language was Japanese, at least from the one I saw was Japanese. But the big thing about it was it showed Thor and Benedict Cumberbatch's Doctor Strange interacting together. And at the end of, and this is a spoiler, at the end of Doctor Strange, we got to see the post-credit scene for Doctor Strange was Thor sitting down with him, and they had this dialogue about finding Loki. And or was it fighting Odin? I think it was Loki. Yeah, it was Loki. And so this looks like we're picking up directly from that scene into Thor Ragnarok. And it shows that Benedict Cumberbatch has a little back and forth with Thor, in which he says, I think it was one of the things was destiny has something crazy or life-changing in store for you, and he says, I have something life-changing in store for it. But then after that, it was, oh man, I had the quote on there originally. Yeah.
See, I like the connection between both of them, because it was the only other way that they was going to connect Doctor Strange to the MCU.
Yeah.
They stayed out. Nobody else would have understood magic other than Thor, so he was the best person of the original Avengers to go and talk to.
No, I agree. I think okay, so Doctor Strange was basically Iron Man. I mean, personality wise, like the rich guy, he went to he found something in an Asian country, because the Middle East is technically Asia, right? No,
he's Asian. It was an Asian country.
Okay, but anyway, so the contrast between the two of them, where Doctor Strange is very straight and narrow, you have Thor, which is just, he is what's the right word? Reactive. Like, he doesn't really make a plan beforehand. He just goes in hammer swinging.
Well, when you have that kind of power, you can do that.
Yeah. And so now we have the two most powerful beings in the Marvel universe, at least good guys that we know of, interacting together. And that makes more sense than him showing himself to, Tony Stark or Hawkeye, for example. But no, so the rest of the footage that we saw was just recycled stuff from SDCC. Nothing that new. And then it just lets us know that Thor Ragnarok hits theaters November 3rd. So, like you said, you were for, against it. Not much to judge off of.
I'm for the connection between them, but it's kind of redundant. It's like, duh, I know bad things are coming. We know trouble's heading our way. So you didn't really need that scene. I know it was just mainly to reinforce that Benjamin Cumberbatch, Doctor Strange, is part of
Benedict,
whatever. It's part of the MCU, and that's pretty much all it was. The one thing in which I enjoyed so much is the fact that there's not going to be that much on the planet Hulk. It seems like there's going to be a lot more to do in Asgard.
It looks like it's just a stop.
Yes. So I'm still looking forward to the fight, but I am really looking forward to seeing if Asgard falls, how Asgard's going to fall, and so on and so on. That's the only thing that's beneficial to me on this entire trailer.
Just a thought, what you just said. I feel like Thor Ragnarok's going to play a lot like not Civil War, Age of Ultron did. Remember when everyone got excited about the Hulkbuster fight with Hulk, and we saw Iron Man like loading up, transforming into the Hulkbuster, and then when the fight actually happened, it was 4 or 5 minutes maybe. And I feel like that's where we're gonna go with this. That Hulk fight, it's gonna be 4 or 5 minutes. Someone's gonna get knocked out, or the fight's gonna be canceled, like interrupted in the middle.
No, Thor's gonna get knocked out. Like it's gonna go the same way. Neither one of them, the characters, can beat the Hulk.
But yeah, so we'll see where it goes. Like I said, it's one new clip, not a lot to judge off of. It was exciting to see it. But I mean, it's not like I'm not gonna see it. I'm still 100% on board from the moment I saw. I'm
seeing the day before it comes out in theaters, like always. It seems like it's gonna be a lot of action, like a lot of action. So I'm looking forward to that. There's gonna be a lot of fighting. I really want to see how they're gonna do death. So it should be good. I do hope somebody dies.
No one's gonna die.
Yeah, somebody should die.
Well, someone should die, but no one's going to.
She better kill somebody.
I'm just.
Her.
Well, you know who's gonna die? We'll be honest. Not Houndor. 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 God. Only black guy in the entire.
Well, he's not gonna die.
I think he will.
No.
He's crucial in the comic.
Yes. Completely crucial.
But if he's crucial to the comic and he's like in a snippet of, at least from what we saw, he's not on the buddy. I'm just saying Heimdall. If anyone was going to die, they would kill Heimdall because let me finish. He's the only character in the entire Thor universe that we've had a chance to really see. We've seen the Warriors 3, we've seen Sif, but like Heimdall was the only one that we really had. In the second one, he was like, I did this. I was, the Watcher. We attached ourselves to him. He almost like the Coulson character. Like, we know him, and when he dies, that's the biggest emotional reaction that we'll have.
But they won't kill him for the simple fact that he is the main black character in that realm.
I'd still say that makes it even more obvious that it's going to be him.
No, they're not going to do it that way. They're not going to do Loki, of course, because he's technically already died.
Every movie, unless that's the theme.
Well, then he could die again.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be Thor.
Yeah,
I think Thor's going to die.
Thor's already been. This is another spoiler, I guess. I haven't watched the Infinity War trailer, but I've heard someone describe the first scene to me.
No, he's going to be in Infinity War. But I think he's going to die, and then when he goes to the realm, that they're going to somehow make a pact or make something for him to be able to come back to fight there.
That sounds cool. That would explain why they saw Mortar or Sartor.
So that's why I think he's going to die. But I just want to see somebody's life done over.
But this is why with the superhero movies, it makes it difficult to really care. And I say Game of Thrones, I wouldn't say is the same thing because you don't like the TV show. I'm trying to think of a good example. Just of a series where you're actually afraid for your characters to die. Like if Thor died, okay, so we all know he's not going to be dead for long.
Well, I guess you could say in like Harry Potter, it was probably the same because you could fall in love with individual characters.
Yeah, and you were and like
you
by
didn't
the seventh one, you were afraid that
Yeah.
someone was going to die. And if you really paid attention, a lot of people died.
died.
And even in the movie, Colin Creevey, the little kid with the camera, they talk about how they carried his body past someone. I don't want to go deep into every single character that died in Harry Potter, but
that's one of the ones where people fell in love with characters and watched them just die.
Well, basically that's just, we can only assume. And when Thor comes out, not this month, but November 3rd, we'll be able to compare during our Thor review, and we'll say who was right. Was it Eddie who was right that Thor died and came back to life? And
Well, I'm always right.
okay, anyway, but see, now I'm not going to feel disgusting saying this, but I do believe that what you said is probably going to be correct. I mean, it makes the most sense. But yeah, so Thor Ragnarok hitting theaters November 3rd. Let's move down onto the next topic, and that will be Shazam. So David Sandberg is the director for the upcoming Shazam movie, and that is following Billy Batson, the 10-year-old who meets the wizard Shazam, and upon saying the wizard's name, a lightning bolt hits him. He becomes Captain Marvel, which they changed the name to Shazam. Not into that whole thing, but it was revealed 2 or 3 years ago. I think it was during the filming of Batman v Superman. They said, "Hey, we're gonna have the Rock as Black Adam," and everyone was like, "Oh yeah, definitely." There's been fan art of him being Shazam way before Man of Steel. Even when I was in college, we were talking about it. So yeah, with that being said, the director finally came forward, and during an interview he was saying that the Shazam movie is the next movie to be filmed in the DC slate.
I don't want Shazam with the Justice League. I just don't.
No. So originally he was supposed to be completely separate, but this was the backup. So they were going to say Shazam was going to be in his own Marvel or his own cinematic universe, separate from the other ones, because it'd be lighthearted. Only way that they'd bring him over was basically if there was an emergency and they couldn't fill seats. So they're looking over at, we have Suicide Squad, Batman v Superman, of Steel. Here's Wonder Woman, and the only one that's, they have a chance to redo a very lighthearted, so the tone of Wonder Woman could be the same tone for Shazam,
which that's what I'm hoping for. Except for it has to have more comedy. DC apparently is allergic to comedy, and they don't like to put it in their movies. But Shazam is a kid. He is a child. He's going to make jokes at everything he can.
Well, that's why the casting of him has to be perfect. It has to be someone. And see, I can't think of anyone who'd be perfect for it, because what's his name? Channing Tatum.
That's horrible.
It's horrible, but I want someone with that. Not that he plays dumb, but I want someone who just plays the way The Rock is. So have you seen the trailer for the new Jumanji movie?
Yes, and I think that's going to be it's funny.
It looks funny, but the way The Rock talks, it just proves that he can be a child. Even though Central Intelligence. The way he was in that was how I see Shazam. Because not the crude, sex jokes, but the idea that this is a child in the peak specimen of an adult's body. And he was making jokes and stuff like that were crude and little kid humor, but that's what I want from Shazam. I want there to be a back and forth with Wonder Woman where he goes out of his way to oh, you're pretty. I want that to be his first thing, and then people are excuse me? I mean, and he gets all awkward because he's supposed to be 10 or 12. I think that would be really cool.
I just want a couple mix-ups where he has to introduce himself and say, "Well, who are you?" Well, I'm Shazam, and then he just turns back into a kid. And that's all I want. One time, maybe two, I think it'd be funny.
So, I hate referencing other podcasts, but the Only Stupid Answers podcast with some people from SourceFed, one of their mentions was that at the end of that trailer, the trailer that you saw, when you see Alfred and he goes, "They said you'd come, but let's hope you're not too late." Instead of it being Superman, which is obviously Superman, it'd be cool if it was Shazam. And here's the story behind it is during this time of Batman recruiting people and finding those files that Amanda Waller has, one of those files was following Billy Batson. So Batman went to Billy Batson and said, "Hey, let me finish. I want to train you because we'll need a big gun. But then at the same time, he's saying, I can't bring a kid into this because the last kid I brought in here, I just made a statue for him because he was killed. So even though he is our last gun, our biggest gun, I don't have the heart to bring this kid into a war that we're not ready for. Now, I think that would be a really cool way to introduce him. But, you know, they just said this the next thing on slate. After the Justice League movie gets finished, then they're going to start filming Shazam. Even though they haven't, they said there's a good script out there, a funny script. But there isn't no casting for Captain Marvel or for Shazam. And then there is no word on Black Adam because he will not be in the movie at all, which is weird.
I think he should be an end credit scene, and I believe this is what I want. I want my main antagonist to be a brother and sister combo of Osiris and Isis, and because when he defeats them and takes their power at the end, or ever how he does it, connects themselves from the magic, then that's a perfect intro for Black Adam because they have to call Black Adam's name to get their power. So
he also has to say Shazam too.
No, but Osiris and Isis, Black Adam saved their life.
Yeah.
And by transferring some of his power to them, so they have to say Black Adam.
Do you know that Iris is going to be in Legends of Tomorrow next season?
It's gonna be so bad. So,
but my favorite thing is we're getting off topic, but that would really win. Would that be the thing that would get you? Because I actually really wanted Shazam to be in the CW universe.
No, that power is it's the same thing as like when they brought Superman to Supergirl. That's completely idiotic.
Yes, it was, but he is my favorite Superman on screen.
That's not saying much.
It's not saying much, but I liked him. I liked everything about his dialogue,
except for he's not Superman. Like you look at him, he doesn't even look like a Superman.
To me, he does. No, absolutely, he looks like Superman.
Does not. He just. And when you look at him, you don't see power. You don't see righteousness. You don't see that person who stands above everybody else.
No, I get that, but we're not. So what I'm looking for in Superman would be animated Superman from the Timverse, the one from his own cartoon series.
Okay.
And then from All Star Superman. But we're on another Superman rant. But
All Star Superman. He literally looked completely different than every other Superman. The animation for that one there was.
No, it was different. But I'm not talking about.
That was so far off the other Superman.
I know. I'm just saying, but when I look at that now, to me, Superman should have a cape that barely goes past his butt. That makes sense. Not having a long flowing cape. The Man of Steel one looks silly to me. I know
it's what he's supposed to have.
I'm just saying, but no. But it comes down to, I feel like it's the personality of it. I don't see Henry Cavill Superman. Okay, so in the comic of All-Star Superman, there's a scene where a girl is getting ready to jump off a building. And Superman flies up to her and he says, are you okay? And she says, leave me alone, yells at him, and he waits with her and talks to her and talks her down.
That's one of the top 10 Superman
moments.
Moments. It was an amazing moment.
Versus Henry Cavill, who I forget if I think there was a little they compare the two, and there was All-Star Superman, it was the same panel, and then it was Henry Cavill's one, and instead the skies were all dark, it was raining, and then he comes up to her, his eyes glow, and he pushes her off.
When it's your time to go, it's your time to go.
Yeah. But no, so let's rewind back to Shazam, the movie. We now know that Black Adam, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, will not be in it. He originally was, but now he's going to be in his own movie.
Which he could have played Shazam, and he would have been a perfect fit for Shazam
I
or
think
Black
so
Adam.
too.
I think the guy from Smallville who played Aquaman, Alan Richardson,
yeah,
would be a perfect fit for Shazam.
Yeah, I don't hate that actually.
He's got the look. He's not buff body, but you won't find anybody who's going to be like The Rock size.
Yeah. That's true.
They actually went to The Rock and actually asked him to play both of them. Did you know?
Yeah. No, I thought, to be 100% honest, I think that would have been amazing. I know everyone would get it's obviously CG or that they're fighting each other, but it'd be cool if the power of Shazam turns you into this perfect specimen. And so there was one that had hair, and then there was Black Adam, which is bald. I know that sounds silly, but I like the idea of them both becoming The Rock. Anyway, I know that sounds like something that would be people out loud would say this is a stupid idea. Don't do it. But
Yeah,
once
'cause
they
I'm
did
thinking
it,
I'm thinking it's a stupid idea and don't do it.
but once you saw it on screen, you're like, you know what?
Mm-mm.
Let's put a bat cowl on this guy.
No.
Let's put a wig on him and call
No.
Wonder Woman. You know what?
Nope.
Let him be the Justice League.
Nope.
Let it be
Nope.
the Just Him League.
If you won't, I can get a room for both of y'all, and y'all could just
Anyway,
spend some time
so,
together.
but when they talked to Sandberg, they were asking him about what he's going to pull, if there's going to be a specific Shazam that he's going to reference, and he basically just talked about how Shazam's been out, since the 40s, a little bit long, just a little shorter than Superman. I thought it was interesting that he mentioned, oh yeah, and he fought Nazis like every good American did.
Well,
anyway,
his villains are actually borderline just bad. He has some of the worst villains ever.
Well, he was, but he's at the same time. I won't say he was war propaganda, but he basically was. The idea that I would have is Dr. Shavar. I think it's Shavaris. I think it'd be really cool to have him in. So it's Billy Batson, going off as Shazam, fighting this guy, and here is this evil doctor who has prolonged his life, not immortal, but prolonged his life. He's been a part of World War I and II, and let's even say that he was influenced by Ares. Excuse me. And so
you just want him in the Justice League. You're finding so
I do.
many ways
Well,
to
no.
bring him in there.
Here's the thing, but he's going to be. I don't want him to, but he's going to be.
I don't want.
You don't want him to, but he is.
Okay, then he would pretty much be like Spider-Man's character, where we have this kid running around with adults, trying to save the world, and we don't want that.
But this is their formula because the Flash's levity will be one thing, but this is their chance to get the fun kid element. That's what's going to happen. But anyway, so there is no release date right now. All we know is that this will be the next slated movie to be filmed right after Justice League is done. So let's move on to another topic in movie news, something that we both are excited for. And this is some news that once again came from that hashtag show. They were talking about Silver Sable and the Black Cat movie. So I think that they're just making this up at the same time.
Who's excited for this movie?
I'm saying we are. I'm not even excited, but we've talked about it. The two podcasts that we've done, they've been in every single segment. So anyway, they've spoiled, and I'm starting to think they're just making this up now. But they're saying that Norman Osborn will have a presence in the movie. You may not see him. Most likely we'll hear his voice, or they'll mention him, or they'll say, well, Mr. Osborn wants this, or a Green Goblin reference will be made somehow. This will be their chance to not only cast Norman Osborn and kind of let us know that his presence is there. But yeah, there's nothing else that's going to be nothing else has been released, just the idea that he will be mentioned in the series. This is not how I wanted Norman Osborn to come into the Marvel Universe. I really wanted it to be so Tony Stark left New York, right? The Avengers left New York. So Norman Osborn is the one who buys Avengers Tower. And Avengers Tower goes from being the beacon of heroes to Norman Osborn's hammer, or not agents of Hammer. Instead of Avengers, he called it was instead of Shield, it was Hammer. But I think that would be the better way to introduce him than put him in this not related spin-off series.
I think the best way to introduce him would be in another movie. I don't want this movie to come out. I know it's going to. This movie is pretty much another Sucker Punch.
Oh.
That's all this movie's going to be.
Disgusting thing to say. No, but you're right.
It's going to be girls in skimpy clothes fighting with weapons. So teenage boys and underage men who act like boys are going to be impressed. This is going to be a very, very bad movie.
Like I said, I'm not going to disagree based on what we see now. Yeah, I would say it's probably going to be a bad movie. That's all there is to it. We just know we don't know, but the rumor is that Norman Osborn will have a presence in Black Cat and Silver Sable Spidey spinoff movie. like I said, it's just a chance and opportunity for them to introduce him into this whatever the weird universe is going to be. But this actually gives me a chance, since there's not a lot of topic here. We're both going to just badmouth it because you look pissed off right now just for talking about it.
It's a horrible movie, and Spider-Man's my guy. Me and him go way back.
But I did want to bring up some breaking news that I forgot to mention in the notes, and that was that apparently there is going to be a standalone Joker movie. I'm actually, I apologize for doing this just randomly, but I'm looking at my phone right now, and it's just talking about, according to Deadline, the studio of DT Entertainment is pulling together an origin story flick directed by The Hangover's Todd Phillips and written by 8 Mile's Scott Silver and produced by Martin Scorsese. Yes,
It's a lot of big names for a movie that's.
But I don't care.
Nobody really does.
I mean, I don't. So the thing about the Joker that made the Joker interesting is that you didn't know what was in his head. He did things, and you're just like. The whole idea about Joker was he did things because he thought they were funny. And that's why, one, he was scary, and one, he was interesting because, one episode he decides that he's not going to kill Batman because it ends the fun. Like, this whole thing is a game for him. Killing people is part of his game. And now you're going to tell me that we're going to go look into his mind and psyche to see how he got here. And then it's just going to be another Killing Joke. And then, I don't want to say, because I'm a fanboy, but I didn't like Killing Joke that much.
Killing Joke was amazing.
It was good. It wasn't amazing. It's just like I don't think Dark Knight Returns was amazing.
Well, Dark Knight Return wasn't, but you can't put those in the same genre. The Killing Joke was an amazing comic. The movie, amazing. It left so many questions.
The movie was not good.
It's pretty close to a comic as best they could do.
No. I'm just saying the movie in general. Speaking of which, I saw the Batman and Harley movie that came out. It was bad. It was really.
Yeah, it's really. We're not speaking of that one.
It was really bad. But no. So I'm not for this. I don't care who they put on it. Steven Spielberg can come in. Freaking Disney could buy it and then produce it.
It's probably gonna be one of. It's gonna be a blockbuster. All these boys and guys out here who want to relate themselves to the Joker wants to go in and see this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, all the females who, I'm Harley Quinn, they're going to go in to see this movie. This movie's going to sell out. This movie's going to make a lot of money.
I know, and it's going to sell to stupid people. And I know I shouldn't say stupid people, that's rude, but it's all these people who are like, not every character needs a spinoff. And that's kind of what I'm at the point where I'm hating is that you have people who are like, well, I want a Falcon. No, you don't want a Falcon spinoff. No, you don't want a War Machine spinoff. I just mentioned all the black people in the Marvel Universe. You don't want to, and I don't care what anyone says. Black Widow's solo movie wouldn't be. It would be like Salt, not Salt. That's a better example.
It'd be like
Atomic
Salt.
Blonde.
Which is Salt, so same thing.
Yeah.
Now that would work if it's like Nick Fury type origin with Black Widow comes in. I can see a little bit of that, but that's pretty much it. It could be Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., one movie.
I don't know. It'd be different if it was like a Black Widow Hawkeye movie with the two of them together.
Nope.
I think that would work more than a solo movie. And I know everyone wants to say, well, is female? No, we could have a cool female. We're going to have Captain Marvel, and I think the idea behind Captain Marvel sounds great. I think that Wonder Woman 2 will be great. You can ultimately find other female characters to do, and that'll be great. But
Scarlet Witch by far is going to outshine Widow. Well, she should at least. Seeing how she's one of the most powerful people in the entire Marvel universe.
But the character they placed her in, and this is not on Elizabeth Banks. It's just her character. Excuse me, her character's boring. I don't know. It just they've not done a good service to this. They have more female, not leads, but main characters, but they're not interesting enough that I feel like could carry their own movies. We all keep saying we want a Black Widow movie, but it wouldn't be.
We are not all saying that.
Okay. And the same. Okay. Anyway, let's move on. Let's leave movie news. And we're gonna head on over to TV stream news. So we're just gonna kind of jumble through this because we are already 30 minutes in, and so we kind of need to wrap this up pretty soon. Punisher. We saw there was a trailer. I first saw this new trailer at the end of the Defenders stream on Netflix, and it's basically John Bernthal taking a hammer and smashing the ground up. And at first I thought, hey, God, he's killing someone with a hammer. This is awesome. But no, he just ends up being like the most professional, like
I could do that.
What's his superpower?
Apparently his superpower.
Apparently it's like
masonry.
Yeah, masonry or I'm trying to think of something funnier. Whatever, I lost the joke. But anyway, he did a really good job making those cracks and making it look really cool. And then the shot that we see, the promo image, it's him walking around and he has his vest on. It looks like a different vest than the one he had at the end of Daredevil season 2. It looks cool. I mean,
I like it.
The thing about this movie will be that it's just going to be an ultra violence.
Yes, that's what I want.
I know,
want
but here's the thing.
Violence.
That's cool, but we have ultra violent shows. Like, I don't know. I'm not saying
name one superhero show we have.
Not superhero show.
Well, that's what this is.
Okay, but so what? But it's not a superhero show.
Right.
It's under the banner of a superhero show, but it's not a superhero show.
Right. Why not?
Because he's not a superhero.
Well,
and not even anti-hero. Stop for a second. No. This will be the same as, I'm trying to think of another series that it will just be a guy-driven Mad Max. Not Mad Max. Oh shoot. It was a game first. I thought it was Mad Max. It is
Max Payne?
Max Payne. Like, you know.
No, you can't compare these.
I'm just saying.
This is going to be
John
great.
Wick. It's a John Wick TV show.
And John Wick was great.
Okay, but there you go. I mean, the thing.
But this was good. Like,
it was good because it was divvied up between. It was the part that was really good was the ideals. It was the ideals of Daredevil versus the ideals of the Punisher. That's what made it interesting.
I don't care about Daredevil's ideals because everybody was like, "Shut up, Matt. We don't care if you think everybody should live because these people should die." And that's what he's doing. There's 3 things I want and 3 things I don't want from this movie. I don't want a love interest. I don't care about that. I want to see violence. I don't want comedy. I don't want this to be where there's a whole bunch of jokes into this. And I don't want him to have a sudden change of heart. I want to see a Punisher. I want a Punisher.
Okay, that's great. But then you get just this straight. Then really there shouldn't. Then how you don't? If he's driven and there's no conflict with anything, then it's just a straight line. It's just him walking into a room. Oh, the people he wants to kill. Boom, boom, boom. Next scene, he goes to the next room. Boom, boom, boom. It's just shooting. There's no character development. You could have
a storyline with that. He just doesn't have to have a change of heart. He could develop as a character.
Okay, so I don't want to seem like I hate the idea. I just don't feel like this will be interesting. The thing that made other shows interesting, that made Jessica Jones interesting, was her background story. So here we'll have. I'll be honest. I don't know what to expect.
Well, we're gonna get his background. We're gonna get to why he's a Punisher. You saw that in the little previews that you see his wife die, or you see things that happen. So we see why he is a Punisher. So we get that background.
And we got that in Daredevil.
Right, but we're gonna get a little bit more deep into him. It's the same thing as like we didn't really get much out of Jessica Jones. We don't know much for her. We got you was used by Kilgrave. Well, what else? I mean, this has to be some reason why you're a colossal, pain in the butt, but we don't have anything for it. But with the Punisher,
it was the fact that she was suffering, like she couldn't open up. She was suffering, sort of not PTSD. It was PTSD of being a rape victim. That was her reason for being the way she was.
There has to be more than that.
No, they said there will be more. The second season is going to be personal and everything about that. And I'm not saying it couldn't be. I'm just saying without the character development and the need to change.
I say he can grow and develop as a character. I just don't want to have a change of heart.
But see, the change of heart is the development.
No.
Yes, it is.
If you sit there and say, like, these guys should die, before he's like, why? Well, they did something bad. And before, now he has to think into it, or he developed something, or, like, instead of killing everybody in that entire thing.
That's a change of heart.
It's not a change of heart.
Yes, it is a change of heart.
No,
if he's
because
changing
he's still
the way
killing
no,
the
if
people
he's
that
changing the way he's viewing things, then that's a change of heart.
No, I don't want him to have a change of heart where he's like, oh, the people should go to jail instead. No, it doesn't work that way.
But he's going to change on who he kills. So instead of putting them in jail, he's going to put. Okay, so you're telling me.
So why kill every underling when you shouldn't have to kill every underling? You just want to kill people to the top. Let's kill the people to the top. If you just want to kill the kingpin, kill the kingpin. But you don't have to kill all 40,000 people that he has underneath him.
That's exactly what he's going to do. Because the Daredevil's viewpoint is, if the boss is on the top floor, I will kill every single underling you have, and I will walk up their corpses to you.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm okay with that development as a character, but I don't want him to have the change of heart saying, well, okay, Kingpin, I got you down. Now we put you in jail. No, you shoot him in the head and you drop him.
Okay. So
put 3 holes in his head like a bowling ball.
What you just said kind of brings why I feel like this is going to struggle, because he's not going after Kingpin. He's going after Jigsaw, I think will be his villain. So we're really going to be relying on the villain to be the source of change and growth, because we just talked about it. Growth is not going to be the main thing of this story.
No.
So that's my thing. I'm more driven by character. This is going to be driven on... But you know what? I could be wrong. I mean, and I'm more than happy to be wrong about this.
I mean, it's only going to last one season. So I just want one season.
Maybe.
What's Facebook? Not Facebook. Netflix does, 8 episodes now? 12 episodes?
I think it's going to be 8. I have to look again.
So it's really weak. But I just want one season, 8 to 12 episodes, and just a bunch of killing. That's it. Okay. I'm happy.
So we'll leave it at that, and we're just gonna kind of smash these last two TV stream news together. Arrow season 6 has casted Kirk Ace Vindo.
The Red Hood.
Is that who it is?
No, but he's pretty much gonna be the Red Hood in the storyline.
So basically, he's going to be Richard Dragon in the war for the streets of Star City. According to Dateline, Dragon is an ex-con who was recently released from prison after serving time for a crime he did not commit. He's a master at hand-to-hand combat. It seems that he won't be the only villain returning. We're also going to get Anatoly. So the Russian mobster from the past 5 seasons apparently will be a villain. And then we're going to get Michael Emerson, so the guy from Scorpion. I think he's in Scorpion. Yep. I think he's in Lost. He's been that really creepy guy, but he'll be playing a mystery character. So I guess Arrow's going to move towards. I like the idea. I think they're going back to. So do you remember what's his name? The guy from Walking Dead who played Tyrese.
Yes.
But anyway, he was in Arrow, and his character was really cool because it was like, oh, he was a gang lord, and he had all these gangs underneath him, and that's who Oliver was fighting, and he was like bringing all the villains together and the crime units, and he was like bringing everyone under one umbrella, and then they killed him off and had Prometheus do his weird. I know where you are at all times. I know what you're thinking. I know things you never told anyone else somehow. But yeah, it's bananas. So anyway, but that will be returning October 12th at 9 p.m. This is actually changing because Arrow originally was at 8 on Wednesdays, and now they're moving to Thursday nights at 9. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why.
There goes your kickball night.
I know, right? I guess I'll go back to Tuesdays.
So I'm really looking forward to...
Yeah, let me get the next one, and we'll talk about both of them at once. The next thing is that for Flash Season 4, Katie Sackhoff has been casted as the main, or I guess a reoccurring villain, Blacksmith. She will be, as is described, a steely, badass boss from the underground black market for supervillains. She will make her debut in the 5th episode of season 4, titled Girls' Night, in which Emily Britt Records, basically Felicity Smoke, will be returning, which means that she doesn't die on the island. I feel like that was a little information slip that they're like, oh, so Felicity did survive? Anyway, so Blacksmith in the comics' real name is, I'm going to butcher this, I think it's Amunet Black. She has the power of mechokinesis. That means her body can manipulate metal, or the perfect fusion between organic or inorganic metals. So she will be a metahuman. And from what I understand, basically this will be what leads to like War of the Rogues, which I think would be really cool.
That's what like I said before, that's the only thing I want out of Flash. I want to see War of the Rogues. I want to see Flash versus the Rogues, because all 6 of them together.
All Knuckles.
All of them together will take down the Flash. They have before. That's how a crossover event where he can't do it by himself. He can bring Arrow in. He needs some help. That will work. Because the crossovers they've had lately has just been horrible. Just doesn't work.
I liked the first 2 crossovers.
Oh yes.
I liked the one where when they placed the color Rainbow Raider, I think they called him, but like
Roy G. Biv.
Huh?
Roy G. Biv, that guy.
I don't know his name, but it was they promoted it as Arrow versus Flash, which I really liked because for what it was kind of cool. So they fought, and Oliver and that's how I want all of the Flash villains to be, where they're like, what can we do to beat the Flash, instead of saying, oh, we know he's out there, let's just try our luck again. Instead, it's like, no, let's stop for a second. I can find a cold gun. Mirror Master can do his thing. Let's all work together. Let's, make a plan to beat him. Like, let's end him once and for all.
And we can do that now with Captain Cold being such a...
Cold's gone.
I still believe they're going to bring him back.
They're not going to bring him back. They've already acknowledged that they can't.
But they can. Because of Flashpoint, they could technically bring him back.
No, it doesn't matter what Flashpoint does, because he died in Legends of Tomorrow. He died outside of time.
They go back in time and get him.
They can't, because that's the reason that we have all the issues we have now. That's why they said this is the reason why time travel they're not doing time travel anymore, because of all the
what ifs.
Yeah, the what ifs, the crazy things that they did. So this is how they're staying away from it. But this way they can have him. The only thing they can do is they can Flash can go back and get him for like 1 or 2 things, like they did with the King Shark episode. They went back in time, brought him to the future. Bananas. All that's bananas.
Okay, I got that. Well, we could still have a new Captain Cold. We could have a brother or cousin. They can easily do something to where there's a new Captain Cold. But Captain Cold has to be in the Rogues. Same with Mirror Master. He has to be in there. You can't supplement characters right now.
I'd be okay if they didn't bring him back. Let it just be the Golden Glider, and it's her finding out that her brother's dead. And so now she has a hate on for every hero, anything like that. So she is driven by hate, and that will motivate a female lead, a female villain, and then she will find a new Captain Cold. And heck, we can make it a woman. Who cares? But like you said, it'll be a new Captain Cold, but it cannot be someone who. It has to be someone who is cold. There is no, oh, I guess I could be cool, I could be nice, No, we need both. Rogue level of bloodthirsty, like we'll kill men but not women and children.
Well, we have a female who spits code out right now.
No, she's gonna end up being a good guy again.
Yeah, I got that, but I'm saying we have that.
No.
So we can't have another one. That's what I'm saying is.
I think we could, and then it'd be an interesting. I could see them doing it. But no. So we now know that we've named villains for both season 6 of Arrow and season 4 of Flash. Haven't heard anything from Legends of Tomorrow or Supergirl. Not that I care.
Nobody cares about it.
And then Black Lightning will be Tobias Wells, but he is in his own universe. Whatever. That's going to bring us to... We're going to skip over these 2 pieces, and we're going to go to video game news. So today, Injustice 2 released... At least I saw it today. The newest 3 downloadable characters, and that being Raiden from Mortal Kombat, and then Black Manta, who is the arch enemy of Aquaman, and then the big surprise, Hellboy. So...
I love Hellboy, and I can't wait to see him in an actual.
Have you watched the animated movies?
Yes.
I love the animated movies.
Hellboy is a character who just stood out on his own. From Dark Horse Comics, it's one of those that he was different. He was out there. He was always blunt and to the point. And I think that finally he's going to be able to get some play. And I believe playing with him is going to be a lot of fun.
No, so I'm excited about that. Raiden don't really care. Black Manta looked really cool. I'm who knows? But like
Black
you
Manta's
said,
like Slade, so
he
reminds me of
similar, but like his fighting
character.
style will be. It's gonna be a mixture of, I believe, will be a mixture of Aquaman and Deathstroke, like you said, because you're gonna be using. I guess one of the weapons will be a trident or spear kind of thing, and then he has his own side weapons or materials. But like I said, I'm most excited for Hellboy, just to play him to see how his interactions with the other playable characters. But yeah, if you have the Ultimate Edition, I believe that you can get those characters early, and they should be free because you got the Ultimate Edition. I have Ultimate Edition, so I'm hoping that's true. If not, you can go and buy them on the store.
And I'll just buy them on the store.
Yeah. I will say, buying the Ultimate Edition for $100 because I played it enough. I was a little let down by the multiverse gameplay because I thought it was gonna be like, oh, you kind of have these different storylines to go into, but it's just like every couple of days they unlock, in this universe Brainiac has been around since the beginning. Now you have to fight all these heroes in a Brainiac level.
Well, unfortunately, a lot of people I've talked to who loved the first game are disappointed with the second one. It's a good fighting game, but it's just...
I love the story.
It let down, but the expectations that everybody put to it, it just went
really
down.
I thought it met everything I wanted from the second one. That's strange. But with that being said, that's going to bring us to the end of our news, and we're just going to end on a spotlight. And folks, we had mentioned Black Manta before. The one that Eddie said was a little bit like Slade, at least in the game. We are actually giving away one Black Manta X-Ray figure, courtesy of our sponsors, Tenacious Toys. It's really easy to qualify for this. All you have to do is have a U.S. mailing address because it's too expensive to send overseas. Sorry, I'm poor. But all you have to do after that is like us on the Token Nerd Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, and also like Tenacious Toys on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Repost the image and then tag 2 friends. Use the hashtag TokenManta, and that way we can find you. And then we will run this contest. I think we started yesterday on the 22nd, and we're going to go until the 31st of this month. And then we're going to reveal our winner on Friday, September 1st. So you have a little over a week to enter and qualify, and we'll randomly pull your name out of a hat and send you a brand new hand-painted Black Manta X-Ray figure. But if you want one before that, you don't have the patience to enter this contest, you want one for sure, go to tenacioustoys.com and you can purchase one of your own. So there's that. And if you ever want to buy any Funko product, especially the pop figures, use our promo code TOKEN10 at the end of your purchase and you'll get 10% off the whole, or at least all your Funko pops. So with that being said, I mentioned us liking us on social media. You can find us at token_nerd on Instagram and Twitter. Token Nerd 00 on Facebook. If you're listening to this, you're either listening to us on Podbean or iTunes. Leave us a review. Give us 5 stars. We'd really appreciate that. We'll even read your review on the air. Also, check out The Real Film Geeks with Addison and Zeb. They're going to go over all of the different movies that have been coming out and strictly movie news and classic movie history. And then for those of you who have been paying attention, there's also the Urban Vinyl Daily focusing on the different designs and designer world that's going on in the world around us. So there's all those different podcasts to listen to, 2 of which are on the Tokener Network and Tenacious Toys. Visit them for any of your designer toy needs. So any other final thoughts, Eddie? No. Or Silk? Sorry, I'm trying to get that in my head. Silk. Gotcha. Go ahead.
No, I'm pretty much good. Hope everybody has a good day. Silk out.
Silk out. All right. As always, folks, I'm Anthony.
And I'm Silk.
Stay spicy, my friends.
Hey everyone, this is Travis Likens from Token Nerd Podcast, and I'm here today to tell you something about sponsorship. That's right, Token Nerd now has a sponsor. The fine folks at TenaciousToys.com, your source for designer toys, pop vinyl, original art, and more, are now our sponsor. And guess what? As a part of that, you can get 10% off your next order at TenaciousToys.com by entering the code TOKEN10 at checkout. That's right, 10% off. And not only are they giving you this code, they're also going to be sponsoring many of our Token Nerd giveaways in the next coming months. So make sure to follow us at token_nerd on Instagram to catch our latest giveaways.